Hi, this is Kevin Sharp from Kevin Sharp Outdoor Philosophy. If you hear some background noise, I'm kind of making this video when the house is full, so there's a lot of my family's here. So if you hear background noise, I apologize for that. But I just got something on my mind I'd like to get off. This is a video response to something I seen today on CBS News, but it was carried on every news channel, of course, with the progressive liberal, well, my bad, let me say progressive media, not progressive liberal. I make the mistake, and I think a lot of people make the mistake of saying progressive liberal or progressive conservative. There's progressives on both sides, and I just lump them all into one category now and just call them progressives, period. Progressives are people who have taken what we had and have taken it to big government, and now they want to progress big government to total government. So that's just my ideal of it, or my idea of it. What happened today was they were reporting on the story that the state of Georgia has passed probably one of the best pro-Second Amendment bills in the country. And immediately the progressive media starts knocking it. You know how anti-Second Amendment they are. But they said something in it, and I think as a group of people, pro-Second Amendment people like myself, and freedom-loving people everywhere, should call them out on it when they make statements that they can't back up. I've made another video in response to a bumper sticker that I got on Facebook. I haven't got finished editing it, and all that. I can't speak today for some reason. Y'all have to forgive me for that. I don't know. I just usually I don't have this much trouble talking on camera, but anyways, I have to commend Georgia. I'm really surprised that they got that passed. They've got it passed now where a concealed carry permit holder can carry their weapon into a church, and of course all these places have to allow them to carry them in there. So it's not just they can just do it if they feel like it. But they can carry them in churches, they can carry them into bars, they can carry them into certain government offices. They can even carry their personal firearms into certain parts of the airports that are, not part of the security. I'm sure they're not going to let anybody get on a plane with a gun. So, I guess you can't blame them there. But it's really unbelievable how progressives tend to think. And I'm not talking about progressives that are in the upper echelon at the top of the totem pole. I'm talking about those progressives that are down here, with us. We're just working class people who, work for a living, who believe in their rights, and, who believe in freedom and choices. And we want to live our life that way. We want to provide for our families and protect our families. And we have a God-given right to protect our families. And progressives just want to take everything away, all their rights. They just want to give it away for this perceived safety and security that the upper echelon progressives are promising them. Hey, don't you worry about criminals. We'll take care of them. It might be 15 minutes after the crime or 30 minutes after the crime happens, or if a criminal's really smart about things, we might find your body here in 3 or 4 years, buried somewhere. But eventually, we're going to make sure that your safety and security is taken care of, because we don't trust you to protect yourself. We don't, progressives, we don't trust you to do anything yourself. We want to be in complete control of your life, whether you like it or not. And these lower echelon people really think that once they get to that level that they're going to somehow ascend up the totem pole to the upper echelon. And I hate to tell you, it's like in any aristocratic society or a dictatorship, which it'll be one of those two. some people are going to rise up through the ranks, and they're going to be in part of government agencies and you know, doing their part to keep everybody under control, under the progressive thumbs, you know. And a few will, but not most of them won't. Most of them are going to be stuck down here, having to live in subjugation to that progressive total government that's coming. You know, once progressives get to a certain level, you might as well call them totalitarianisms or totalitarists. That's like I said, I'm sorry, I can't speak today. But because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be total government control. And the progressive media, they're just doing, and what I've seen today, they're just doing their part. They're going along with it. And here's the part that got me. The people that this law was made for is for concealed carry permit holders. The media, the person that was reporting this, and get on, do yourself a favor, either get on CBS.com or get on probably YouTube will have it, or just some other website that carries that type of reporting, and just listen to it for yourself. Just do it for yourself, and you'll see what I'm talking about. At the very end of the report, I believe it was a woman reporting on it, was speaking of the 500,000, and she took a very weird tone to her voice, almost pointing the fingers, almost like there's something's going to happen. You know, the 500,000 concealed carry permit holders in the state of Georgia. You know, you'll just have to see it, and I can't exactly imitate how she said it, but you just have to see it for yourself. And I'm sitting there looking at it, and I'm like, well, hold up a second here. Number one, you're talking about concealed carry permit holders. Okay, you're not talking about a low-life thug, street thug, a criminal, you know, that's just going to be walking up into a bars carrying a gun. They do that anyway. That's in the nature of being a criminal. They're going to do that anyway. It don't matter how many laws you pass, just the nature of the criminal, they're going to disobey it. A concealed carry permit holder has to go through the first background check to buy the gun. Then, once they apply for a concealed carry permit, they have to go through another background check. So these people that they are making out to be criminals, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make out all gun owners. They're trying to make you look bad. They're trying to make you're the enemy. You're public enemy number one. You know, we want to paint you out to be this gun-toting, rootin' tootin' vigilante, and 99.9% of all concealed carry permit holders will try to get away from a fight. That's what they're trained to do. That's what most concealed permit carriers are trained to do. They're going to try to avoid that conflict. They don't want to escalate conflict. They want to get away. Now, I'm not saying there's not a few among us who doesn't do that, but for the most part, everybody tries to avoid a conflict. You know, and they try to paint us out to be these vigilantes where we're just going to, you know, do whatever. And in the meantime, we're letting criminals run amok in our society. And I don't hear them being painted out being this menacing threat the way, you know, most time when you hear them report on the criminals, well, today 2 people were shot in a gunfight today. You don't hear them today. This awful event happened. These people were just shot. You don't hear them do that. But in this report, I heard that kind of a tone. Like I said, I can't demonstrate how she did it. So just do yourself a favor. Get on, I guess, CBS.com and just click on the link about the Georgia State law, about the Second Amendment law and all that, and I'm sure to be on there. But it just disgusted me that this person tried to paint us and try to insinuate that we're the criminals here. And to the way I think of it is okay. There's 500,000 people that have been given 2 background checks, and who the sheriff of that county or a higher law enforcement official has okayed to carry this weapon. You have to get permission from in my state, your sheriff of your county. I'm sure it's probably the same way in Georgia, but a high level law enforcement official to okay it. So these people have been checked very thoroughly. And it's just amazing to me how they can insinuate that here all these rootin' tootin' gun carriers, these pro Second Amendment people, they're running amok in the streets. It's insanity. No, it's a progressive agenda. And we got to call them out on it. YouTubers, we've got to unite. We've got to start making our own videos, because it's obvious to me and everybody else that the progressive liberals, or here I go again, the progressive media is painting this picture of us. We need to be painting this picture of them. Look, you're not innocent of this. You're not just reporting the news. You have an agenda, a progressive agenda. You want to progress us towards total government, and that's exactly what you're doing. And it's just ridiculous. I mean, and I really hope that my fellow YouTubers will do the same thing. All you who believe in freedom, who believe that you should be able to choose what you want to do with your life and not be told by government what you're going to do or pay for a special privilege to do it, is a ridiculous notion that our founding fathers scoffed at, who got physically ill probably thinking about. They lived under a tyrannical government, total government. They lived under that. And it's amazing to me how progressives try to take something that was built to confine government. Our founding fathers wanted limited, very limited government. They wanted the people to have the freedom and the government to be constrained. Yeah, they wanted government to exist, but not what we got now. What we got now is just, it's awful. It's awful. And I can't believe that we've allowed ourselves to get to this state. I just can't believe it. I've seen so much change. I'm only 35 years old, and I have seen so much change. And it's change that I don't want. And I'm just so sick of seeing it. And it's time for us to do something about it. We need to unite under one banner. We need to quit letting people splinter us, into this category and that category. Oh, you're a Republican, or you're a libertarian, or you're a Tea Party guy or girl or whatnot. To me, it should be one group of us instead of having all these little split up groups. Look, we got to rein it in. We're all Americans, and it's time that we start acting like it. And and shame on the progressive media. I mean, just shame on them. You need to start reporting the news and stop putting an agenda in that. It just amazes me. And I want to say to all you guys out there, thank you for viewing. I really do hope that this sparks up a conversation. Even if you disagree with me, that's fine. Let's just keep it civil. Talk to each other like we're people. Let's don't get too crazy on here. Remember the golden rule. And I'd like for you to comment. I'd like for this thing to start rolling, for people to start watching the news, not just I can't do nothing about it. Yes, we can. We can do something about it if we get on here, if we get on social media and start speaking our minds and start speaking the truth on how real Americans feel about this. And I appreciate you viewing. I appreciate your comments, and I really hope you subscribe to my channel where we can all engage in meaningful conversation. And this is Kevin Sharp from Kevin Sharp Outdoor Philosophy, and I appreciate your time.